Hello, stamping friends. This is Robin from Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Diego, California, where it's been overcast for a few days and kind of drizzly. It's kind of like it doesn't know what it wants to do. It feels actually like what we call fall here, which kind of went from summer and 90 degrees to this, which is different for us. But exciting because maybe the trees will start changing, etc. So just looking down for a second, sorry, just to make sure that I'm actually on live here. Anyway, so I have some fun stuff to share with you today. I have some new product, and I also have some a brand new fun fold to share with you. So just a couple things about what's going on in Stampin' Up. I got somebody with me, yay, I'm not talking to myself anymore. What's going on at Stampin' Up this month is a lot of continuing stuff. Hopefully some of you have gotten some of the new product from the mini catalog, which is really exciting. I hope you also are going on and seeing the new kits. There's some Christmas kits and tags and some all-inclusive kits that are really fun for Christmas. And there's some online exclusives, and I'll talk more about some new ones in a minute. If you're a demonstrator, there's some supply items that are now on sale and merchandise with Stampin' Up! Stuff on it right now. And I also I'm going to turn you down because I want to do this by showing you. So, whoops, hopefully that's working. There's also this product paper called A Walk in the Forest, which is on page 4 and 5 in the new catalog, and it is pretty easy to miss because it just looks like, oh, these are pretty. They're just showing us kind of, it's so far in the front. But if you look right over here, there's this DSP, this designer series paper. Not only is this cool paper because some of these bears can be cut out, and there are trees that can be cut out with the merriest trees. These can be cut out with the bear punch. And I think you could see it better over here, that they cut it out from the designer series paper with the trees and with the punch. And but the other thing that's really cool is this paper gives back to our community, and in the different countries it's giving back to different associations in the United States. I don't think they've decided on all of the places it's giving back to, but certainly Toys for Tots, they said, is one of them. So I think that's pretty special. So let's move that out of the way. Oh, but look, did you notice actually? I can share with you the catalog. So that is like the funnest thing ever. We'll get back to this because this is what we're using to make our card. But I also wanted to share with you some of the new online exclusives. So this is one of them, which is a packet that has silver and gold glimmer paper, and not only is it really, really sparkly, I hope you can see that. I don't know how well the sparkly shows up on your computer or phone, but it's also self-adhesive, so it's got a little thing that you can pull back, and it's sticky, which is really, really nice. Now, I've been using the little pointy part on my Take a Pick tool to help find that little part to pull back on, because once it's cut, you have all these edges. But I'll show you a couple of cards. Let me move this out of the way. A couple of cards I made using that gold glimmer paper. Can you see it? It is very sparkly. So it takes a pretty easy, this is a pretty simple layout and makes it really, really special. I'll probably add some more bling to this. Never have enough bling. All right, so that's the first one. There are actually 5 different paper packs. That's the first one. here is the second one. This is called Traditions of Saint Nick, and these are all 12 by 12. So we've got, it goes with the, oh shoot, what's it called? Goes with one of the bundles, the one with Saint Nick in it. And that one, what is that one called? Something about Saint Nick. But since I don't remember, it's going to be hard to find. Well, you guys will have to find it by yourself. But this paper kind of has that old-fashioned feel. And then the backs are a little bit simpler. This one, I love this one with all the holly. And the colors in here are Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Copper Clay, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, Pebbled Path, Real Red, and Wild Wheat. I didn't really notice the wild wheat. Backs are interesting. Got your little scenery here by the fireplace. Could do some fun stuff with here with the, you know, posting your letter to Santa. This is my favorite one, I think. And I'm going to show you a card that I made with that. And here's your Saint Nick. I don't have this set, so I can't tell you if you can cut these guys out with the dies that go with it. But like I said, I really like that one. So this is the card that I made. Is that not the cutest thing? Because look how it goes with the set with the little gingerbread guys in it. Oh, now you're going to quiz me about what that set is called. See, I haven't memorized all my sets yet, even the ones that I have. So I'm going to try to find those sets so I can help. Oh, here it is. It's called Sending Cheer with that gingerbread man in there. It's on page 32 of the catalog. So your little gingerbread man goes really well with this set. So cute. So cute. And then the third set of papers that are online exclusive only is this foil set. And this is called Shining Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper. And it's foiled. Can you see all the red sparkly foil in there? And then the backs are just more, are not foiled. And a lot of cherry cobbler and mossy meadow in here. You see all those little dots and the stars are foiled. This paper is so pretty in person. I'm assuming you probably can't see the foil as well. This is the one we're going to use today. Love the dots also. And a little, forgotten what you call this. What you call this kind of paper. No, it's not herringbone. Well, it has a name. And the stripes, we'll use a little of that too. Look at the cool. This could go with that set, the Marion Bright set at the beginning of the catalog also. Would go nicely with that. And the presents. That's cool. Now, I do want to warn you one thing about this paper. Don't know if you notice that my edges are curling up, okay? I left it out one night because I was working with it and just got tired and went to bed. And when I came back in the morning, it was like curled up like this because there's a lot of humidity out here right now. So my advice is when you're done with, you know, at the end of the day, make sure you get it back in here because this is still not back to normal and I've had some books sitting on it overnight. So watch out for the curling here. Just get it back in its little home and that will help a lot. Hey Lisa, hey Cindy. Hi, Linda. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Tammy. Okay, so let's get back to what we are going to do today. And that is, we are going to learn how to make this card. And this is what we call a Flying Seagull card. If you all follow Sue Campfield, I think she's the first one I saw this on, although it could be that she got it from somewhere too. And it looks like just a nice card. You see my foils. But the real fun thing about it is that you can stand it up like this. Now, hopefully from your vantage point, you can see it kind of looks like a seagull flying. See, I'm flying, I'm flying. Isn't that cool? But that also means it stands up really well for the recipient, wherever it is they want to stand it up. Here it is laid flat. And it does fit in your regular sized envelope. Let's get one out. And you can see it's going to fit right in here just fine. It is got lots of layers, so I'm not going to guarantee that it might get charged some extra on postage. And I'm also using the new, let's move that, Christmas Classics bundle. And that is in our new catalog, starting on page 28. It's part of this Joy of Christmas kind of super bundle. I don't know what you call it. Super sweet. There we go. And it's got its own paper that I was going to make this with, but then I got this shiny paper, and of course shiny caught my eye. And I bought it because I love this little set right here. I used that on that other card I showed you, as well as this one. This gold part came from here also. I love the sentiments. I got like these little teeny things, and just really fun set. Okay, so I wanted to show you this from start to finish because I want you to be able to do this on your own, okay? So hopefully you guys saw my post earlier and you went and got your trimmer and a piece of 11 by 8.5 cardstock. So this is cherry cobbler cardstock because we are going to do this together. So I can wait a minute if you want to go run and get your own stuff here, but I am going to go right ahead here. You can always play this back, you know that. So this, like I said, is 8.5 by 11, and we're just going to cut it down. Whoops, I almost screwed that one up. To 5.5 by 11. So used to doing it a certain way, okay? Then we're going to take that big piece and we're going to cut it again at 5.5. So now we have two 5.5 by 5.5 pieces. Each one we are going to score, and it doesn't matter which way because it's a square, 2, 3.5, and 5. And guess what? I'm going to have to do it again. So watch me do it again. So same thing. It's the other part of mine. 2, 3.5, and 5. Okay, now we have this other piece that's 11 by 3, and we're going to cut one of these down to 5.5, or part of it down to 5.5, so it'll be 5.5 by 3. Again, we're using the same piece of paper. Okay, then we're going to cut a little bit more. We're going to cut a 3-inch square. And so this is the only piece that we're not using out of that whole that whole piece there. Okay, so you ready to make this card? Like I said, you can always go back and watch it again. So first thing is, we are going to take this, we're going to fold that little piece, and we're going to kind of accordion fold this now. Okay, let's just go ahead and burnish it all. Accordion fold. Okay, same thing for the other one. Up, back. How did I already get this dirty? Okay. And then what we're going to do is we want to attach these two pieces to this piece. Okay? And the way we're going to do it is, obviously we want this down the center. We want this even. So that's why I said get a little pencil, get a little ruler. You could actually also just do it this way. This is probably even easier for everybody because we may not have a ruler around. Well, yeah, we're going to need our ruler. But if you put it on the lines, let's say this is our midline. We got 1.5 this way, 1.5 this way. We're going to make a little mark here, a little mark here, and connect it. This is for those of us that are straight line impaired. I suppose if you're really good, you could just fake it there. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take this little teeny 1/2-inch piece and we're going to put some glue on it. Now, I would if you're going to use anything other than glue, and I'm going to put actually my glue on this side too. You could use tear and tape or Seal Plus. I would not use just straight seal personally. Okay, so we got these two little ones. They're going to meet in the center. So we got that little line there. I know it's hard to see. But remember I said it's going to be covered up, so you won't even see it. So that is the first part. Did you see that? So that is that little part, and then it'll fold in like that, that little 1/2-inch. Same thing over here. There's my little 1/2-inch part, and it's going to meet in the middle like that. So that's actually the back of your card. Okay, there's the back of your card. So these are going to fold in like that. And we can turn this over and you can see what the front of your card looks like. And that is like the hardest part about this whole thing. Do you get that? Does that make sense? I'm going to just burnish it a little bit more under here. I just think that is so cool, whether it's Sue or somebody else that thought of this. Again, your little flying seagull. So then I took some of these papers from the foiled set that I just showed you. And this one for the front, they're all just 1/4 of an inch smaller than whatever piece they're covering. So this one is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to put that on the front. I'm just going to hold it in place a little bit because remember I told you about how they were curled, and for most of the night I sat these under some other stuff, but they're still trying to curl. Once you get them glued down well, they really don't. So these are again some of the foils, and these pieces for these little side panels are 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Let's just stretch it out here. This is the back panel. I like the glue because I don't know if you could tell, I was just zhuzhing that, just, you know, moving that just the slightest bit. Do like to make sure that they're kind of even there. And again, this is the same size as that other one. 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Hey Joanne, good to see you here. And again, let's just make sure, yep, that looks pretty even, and I'm just gonna hold it there a little longer. I don't want these curling up when I'm done. And now we're just gonna do a little stamping here. Except I'm not finding one of the things I need, so we may have to cut. I thought I cut 1,000,000 of them, but I guess I didn't save them. I used this little die that goes on the inside of that other big one. And let's just get a little piece of scrap of white paper. I cut a new one. And because I always have my little die cutting, my baby die cutting machine here, we can do that. Except this is still a little big. We can just go ahead and cut one down. Now when you're cutting something with a real straight line like this, it's easier to cut if it's not straight on, if it's just tilted a little bit. Same with the little or the big machine, either one. It's just kind of easier to do that way. So this little deck the hall piece is going to be on the diagonal. So when it's on the paper, so I'm actually going to put it on the diagonal on here, and I'm using my little squares to line it up. And then I've got the little deck the halls, because what's the next line? With boughs of holly, and we've got our holly on the cover of this. So in case you didn't get that, and this is Mossy Meadow ink, which is one of the colors. There we go. And then I also have the two little white pieces for the other panel in here. And this is really the only spaces you have to write. So this is a card that you're gonna give to somebody who you really don't want to write a lot to, but you just want to say happy holidays, or maybe, you know, you're like me and you usually are also putting, you know, a little picture in there of the family, or a, you know, a note to tell everybody what's going on. And so it doesn't really matter so much if you have a lot of writing space. Close that up. All right, and so these are just going to go in this little space right here on both sides. Now you could, I suppose, put something on this little piece, but I just feel like it's kind of not worth it. It's not getting a lot of airtime. I don't know, view time. There you go. Just because of the way this card is. So I figure I'm not going to use this beautiful paper up on something that people aren't even going to see. What I'm doing is trying to make sure that these lines, top and bottom, are kind of even. Now, this was made with this 3x3, but when I put this on here, I decided that was just too much paper here. So what I'm going to do is cut it down to 2 3/4. I just didn't think we needed all that red showing. So I'm going to cut it down to 2 3/4 square, but you can leave it bigger if you want to. It'll still fit in the envelope. I tried just to make sure for everybody. And then this time I'm going to use, did I use some? No, I decided not to. I guess I decided not to use any dimensionals because there's so many layers once this is all closed up that I was trying to give it half a chance to get sent at a normal rate as opposed to them deciding it was a package because it was big. So we can put, I think, did I do dimensionals on, yeah, I did some dimensionals on this one. Not all the way out to these edges because they're gonna otherwise stick out here. And then the very last thing I did is I cut 3 of these holly leaves from the Mossy Meadow paper. And I think I'm just gonna use a piece of tear and tape to tape them down. So what I'll do is just kind of figure out where they're going, try to keep them, you know, inside that part that's so that you just don't have it sticking out, getting lost in your envelope. So I'm just pretty much using this like tape. Yeah, I figured that would be easier. Or you can go like this and just, you know, use your glue. Alrighty. And our last thing is I was searching for just a little bit of bling to put on here, and I realized, oh wow, we don't have any cherry cobbler embellishments, and we actually don't even have real red ones anymore either since we got rid of the little real red rhinestones. But you know, first of all, anything that's white, you can color. So you could color rhinestones red. But then I realized we had these little flat, what are they called? Iridescent adhesive-backeddiscs. Now these are technically made for the Merry and Bright set, and they call these Poppy Parade, these red ones, but to me, they were absolutely perfect with the little kind of discs or berries, the modern discs or berries that are that are in this paper. So it's funny because I was making this at night and I couldn't really tell if the colors were going to work or not, so I had to wait till morning to put them on because I said I can't really tell if these colors are going to work so well or not. So that is this seagull fold. So it's a fun new fold, and you could see how you could use any matching papers. You could even do, you know, emboss some, or who knows. I'm sure you guys will think of lots of different ways to use it. There's our little flying seagull. But it's funny when you see these kind of cards, you think, oh, that looks so hard. And then once you kind of deconstruct it or watch something that shows you how to deconstruct it, it's just not as hard as it seems, because it's just paper and ink, paper and ink. So, oh, I see you got more people watching. Hey, Joanne. Hi, Myrna. Oh, my sister-in-law's watching. Hi, Mary Claire and Sandra. And if you guys missed anything, go back to the beginning. I will post this on all the directions and all the measurements on my blog, stampwithdrrobin.blogspot.com, later this afternoon, so you can always go over there and take a look at it. I think I might sit this under a book. Joanne, very good point about writing a message. And if you turn this over, you think, oh, I'll just put something back here, but really, or back here to give you a big one. But you really can't because of how it bends up. So you could put other small ones back here, I suppose, if you wanted some, but I just decided it's just going to say our names, and they'll have to read everything else on the little Christmas letter that we send with it. But yeah, good. All right, hold on, I'm going to put you guys back up. Glad you liked that fold and realized it's really not as hard as it looks. And thanks for sticking around and waiting for me. And if there's anything you guys are interested in seeing on my lives, let me know. I have tons of holiday cards I've been working on, and I'm crossing my fingers that the new Hanukkah set will be back. They're telling us it's going to be available for Hanukkah this year, so I'm crossing my fingers, and when we get it, I will be one of the first to order it. So thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next Monday at 1 Pacific time. Take care and happy stamping. Bye.